Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 14 of the Old Man Magic podcast, where your hosts Alex and Steve discuss current and not so current matters in the world of Magic the Gathering. How you doing, Alex?
Good. How's it going?
Pretty good. You got to do yo yo yo. I've heard some feedback from the people. The people have been
Oh,
contacting me and let me know
you're like
how they feel
yo,
the
like
podcast is
yo,
going.
yo, yo, yo.
There was one episode where you opened up with a yo yo yo, and it was a big hit. So we
Higher
got to go
energy.
back to that.
Okay, I'll try to keep it up.
I I'm feeling all jazzed up. I got my beverages here. I've been pounding coffee. I ate right before we started the podcast. I wasn't even hungry, but decided to eat a few Duke's hot and spicy smoked shorty sausages. If Duke's wants to sponsor the podcast, I'd be into that. I also had some peanuts and some
Is
chocolate.
it a go-to for you?
These are things that give me lots of acid reflux. So, coffee, spicy sausages, chocolate. I'm going to be clearing my throat into the microphone a lot.
It keeps
These
you
are
awake
terrible.
though, right?
Yeah,
Keeps you
yeah, oh yeah.
angry,
I'm all
hungry.
spiced up. I'm all caffeinated,
Yeah,
but it's not good. It's not good for the mic etiquette. I heard
it'll be okay.
I heard that you played some board games this weekend, Alex. Tell me
I
about
did.
the board game you played this
I did.
weekend.
I went up to Cleveland and hung out with my brother-in-law and two of our friends, and I bought him a board game a month or so ago for his birthday. There's a board game called Gloomhaven. It's like a fantasy
Gloomhaven.
RPG. Gloomhaven, yeah. And this is a standalone sequel to it. I think it's called Gloomhaven Lion's Den or something
Mhm.
like that. It's like the sequel, but you can play it without the first one. Um, Jaws of the Lion. Ah. Uh, but it's pretty fun. It's a little complicated. It's one of those games that takes a while to like set up and learn, and there's a lot of like rules and stuff like that. But it kind of guides you through it. It's pretty procedural and like uh there's like a book that you flip through that has like a hex map, square like tiles. You can move your little guys around, and we work together as a team. Like the four of us are like trying to like quester type people like in D&D or whatever, adventurers, and we're
A hex map? Is that what you said?
yeah, like it has like hexagonal tiles, like
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
like that interlock like honeycomb style. Um, and there's different scenarios, and you go through each scenario. There's little monster tokens, and the monsters have movement and attacks, and you have the same. You have like a deck of cards of like abilities you can use. Um, I was playing a guy that like could heal people, and he had like a uh, sickle chain and stuff, kind of like a hybrid character, like a I don't know, sort of protective, but could do some stuff like offensive too. And yeah, it was pretty cool. We didn't get too far into it because we were setting up and learning a lot, but yeah, we did one or two scenarios, and you fight against little monster token guys that move around on the map, and you do that too. And
Is it open ended at all, like D&D? Like you have a dungeon master that kind of like gives you scenarios, or is it like you're pulling cards and you're reading about what happens next and what you have to respond to, and it's all dictated by like the
it's
game
not so
designer?
open ended. It didn't
Okay.
seem like. I mean, maybe there are some things that open up like that later on, like in some of the later scenarios, like you have more decisions to make. But it's pretty much just from what I could tell, like uh, series of encounters that were like have already been set up, and there's storyline that goes with it. One person reads from the book, and there's like a narration.
I don't know anything about the world of board games, but there's like
It's crazy.
a billion of them out there. And
Yeah, it's like a
I didn't
renaissance of board games.
didn't think about it until what was it, like a month or two ago now. Again, I went back to an LGS for the first time ever, and the first place I walked into, they didn't sell Magic singles. They just sold the packs, and then like the rest of the store was just full of board games. And
Yeah.
now I'm like following different game designers, different Magic people online. A lot of the game designers design board games. Everybody like focuses
Yeah,
on
there's
board games.
tons of indie companies or like little groups of
Yeah,
like
a
solo
ton.
people doing it, making their own board games, and you can get them on like any topic. Like there's a really popular bird related board game. It's called like Wingspan, I think. Um, and it's just like it's not like fighting or anything like that. It's just like some resource game, I think. You've like bird eggs and you're trying to like have birds or something. I don't know. But it's very popular. I guess it gets good reviews, and there's a lot of board games like that that are yeah, like outside of the box, have weird sort of concepts, but a lot of people like them.
So like
Um,
trying to teach people conservation or something?
I don't know. I mean,
Maybe
I
you're
don't know if
trying to
it's like
raise
trying to
birds.
teach that exactly, but it's like
Okay, it's
for
just
people
for
maybe
fun.
who are into that, if you're someone who likes learning about, nature and stuff.
Real birds in the game.
I believe so.
Actual
Yeah, I think
birds.
it's I
Okay.
think I think it's
So
like real species of birds.
you learn real bird facts.
Yeah, like
Man, I gotta jump on the wingspan
it's a
bandwagon.
card-driven engine building board game. You are bird enthusiasts seeking to
I am.
discover and attract the best birds to your network of wildlife preserves.
Oh,
Each
that
bird
sounds amazing.
extends a chain of powerful combinations in one of your habitats. These habitats focus on aspects of growth, gain food tokens, lay eggs, draw from hundreds of unique bird cards, and play them. The winner is with the most points after 4 rounds. 150 unique bird cards, a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, it looks like real bird, like regular real life birds.
Are there demons in this game? Is
No,
there
I
gore? Is
I
there
don't think there's any black magic or
are there bird
demons. It's
demons?
it's pretty real life. Like you say, it is kind of educational, I guess. Like it looks like there's I can't see the cards too well, but maybe some like factoids about the birds.
I like Googled it, and there's an article from Vox that comes up. It says Wingspan review: a soothing tabletop game
Soothing.
about birds.
Yeah.
It's this kind of gentle and soothing gameplay that most people I talk to about Wingspan say they're drawn to. This sounds like it's made for people who like adult coloring books and things like that.
Yeah. Like
But yeah, it also might be fun. Age group kids. No judgment here. I'm playing a card game that I also played when I was 12. Max Player's 5. Interesting. But yeah, there are a ton of board games. I had no idea. When growing up, I played Risk,
yep.
D&D, Magic the Gathering, and I knew old guys who sat around in LGSs and painted Warhammer
Yeah.
figurines. I knew that happened, but I never
Which I've
got
always
into
been
it.
sort of like I think I would play something like that, some kind of like tabletop strategy game. Like it's appealing to me. I just never got into it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, like you said, Risk, one or two other strategy kind of games. Didn't seem like there were a ton to choose from that weren't like for like little kids. Um,
Yeah.
but there's way more now. Some of my friends from college, when they get together, they've for years now they've been like bringing board games to like meetups when we hang out, and I've seen them show up with a bunch of different like indie games. And one of the first places I think I started learning about it was on Penny Arcade, the like web comic that's about video games and stuff.
Okay, I remember
And they have
that.
like new like posts. He like writes about stuff, and he's always like highlighting, or they are always highlighting, uh, different developers, people who are like startup board game companies, things that are kind of related to D&D maybe, or dice games, or so I've seen a lot of it through there. But it's pretty cool.
This sort of surprised me, I guess. I guess the same thing that's happened in indie video game space, which I don't really play video games. I don't
Mm,
keep up with video games, but I know there's just been an explosion of like
yeah.
indie video game producers, all sorts of cheap indie video games you can buy on what are these platforms people used to buy them on for like $5 a piece, $10 a piece, $2 a piece, Steam or something.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
Steam. I browsed that a couple times. Okay. Sounds like fun weekend. I've
wonder
done
if they have Birds of Paradise in
nothing.
Wingspan.
I don't know. We'll look into it. Maybe we'll start a Wingspan podcast next year, potentially, and end of 2023. I have some follow-ups to episode 13, Alex. The natural order, is this a leopard or a cheetah update?
Okay.
Last weekend, I said I had figured out exactly what species of big cat was on the image, painted on the image for the card natural order. I had the answer. I wasn't ready to reveal it. I was going to reveal it this weekend. But last week, somebody we know, a mutual friend of ours, texted us some information. And I will now say new shit has come to light, Alex. I thought that I had the answer, but now I'm not so sure. So I have to do some further research. I think I'm going to hit the
Oh no.
library over the next couple of weeks So I just wanted to say that I don't yet have the answer to whether or not the big cat on the card natural order is a leopard or a cheetah, but I will reveal that in a future episode coming up after some further research. New shit has come to light. The other thing is, these are some corrections to episode 13. I was listening and I said Whirling Dervish was reprinted in Chronicles. It was not
Uh,
reprinted in Chronicles, Alex. It was reprinted in fourth edition.
ah, that's a
And then I
mistake
have,
that I'd make a lot between like fourth edition, fifth
yes,
edition, and Chronicles. Like,
constantly,
yeah.
constantly. And I may have also said that Mishra's Factory was reprinted in Chronicles. I'm not sure that I said that, and I don't want to go back
Oh,
and listen again.
I can't remember
But
either, but yeah, now you're probably right. It would have been fourth or fifth, right?
if I did say that, it was a fourth edition reprint of Mishra's Factory that I have. So those are the follow-ups to episode 13. Let's get into some new shit, Alex. Some new shit. And actually today I do have mostly like new goings on in Magic the Gathering, in the world of
Uh-huh.
Magic the Gathering, not so much old stuff. Just little things mostly, but MTG30, the big
Well, yeah,
celebration in
there's
Las
stuff
Vegas
going
is
on.
going on.
30th anniversary. Has the
So
the Vegas event started already?
yes, I think
Yeah, okay.
today might be the last day.
Oh, okay.
I think
Dang,
I
we're
think it was
late.
only
We're late.
I think it was only a weekend thing, but we
Okay.
are not in Las Vegas. We are in the
No.
Midwest. We are raking leaves. We are building bonfires. We are chopping down trees. We are
Chopping
tapping. We are tapping trees for syrups. I assume that happens at this
various
time.
syrups.
I'm collecting ciders. I'm fermenting ciders. I don't have time to go to Las Vegas and
No,
do drugs
no.
with other Magic the Gathering people and show off my fancy watches and stuff on social
They have
medias.
drugs?
I'm assuming. I don't know.
Fancy watches.
That's isn't that what people go to Las Vegas for? Do drugs, wear fancy watches, wear affliction t-shirts, or whatever the 2022 version of an affliction t-shirt
Version
is.
of
I
it.
don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Not Ed Hardy and affliction any longer, but whatever the 2022 version is. We're not there, but I'm watching some of it on the social medias. And a couple of things I noticed, Alex. First thing is, I want to say it is happening. You asked me what it is.
It.
Ask me what
What
it
is
is.
it?
The Magic the Gathering 30th anniversary edition Power 9 reprints are hitting the secondary market. It is happening, Alex.
Ka-chunk.
And I saw some people posting some stuff, some things on Twitter. Mox Pearl posted for $400. This is the new frame Magic the Gathering 30th anniversary Mox Pearl. Posted it for $400. DM me to purchase. Brand new Mox Pearl. Mox Emerald 30th anniversary. And then in all caps, he says product, proxy, DM to buy. He doesn't really think it's a proxy. He was getting upset because a lot of people were sending angry messages in response to the
Oh.
Pearl, in response to the Pearl post saying, oh,
That's funny.
300 bucks for a proxy, blah, 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 400 bucks for, anyways. So this is what they're at least going for over the first
Well,
weekend
yeah, I
that the
mean,
packs are being cracked
people
in
want to try to
Las
make their
Vegas.
pack money back.
This is a guy who owns a shop. I don't know if he cracked these packs or if somebody cracked them and then immediately sold them to this guy and then he's
Uh-huh.
flipping them. But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Pearl sold right away. I didn't follow up to see if the Mox sold, but considering the Pearl sold in like 30
Yeah.
minutes for
I get it
$400,
doesn't surprise me.
yeah.
With the prices on the packs, people will try this to recoup the cost. I think it's gonna sell like I won't be buying it.
Yeah, no, I mean definitely not for this price. I mean they look kind of nice, but it's like, you know how I feel about the old frame. I mean the new frame,
Yeah,
probably the same way you feel about the new frame.
yeah. It
It
has the new tap symbol, instead of saying tap to add white.
I don't like the tap symbol. The
I
frame
don't like
bothers me.
having the like numbers on the bottom of the card so much, like the
Yeah,
set numbers
I don't
stuff,
either.
like all that code gobbledygook.
The 30th edition stamp on the right side of the card looks pretty nice to me. The
That
gold
doesn't bother me so
30th
much,
edition stamp.
like yeah, if the card looked like a regular Mox Pearl and it had that on it, like I would feel much better about it.
But I mean, I think maybe, maybe. I wouldn't buy them now because I have a lot of other stuff in the pre-modern era that I want to pick up. But after I got through all that, maybe I would buy these for like 25 to 50 bucks. This is just me. This is my personal price
Hmm.
point for these cards, but you know, even tenfold cheaper than an unlimited mock pearl, 400 bucks. I can't be doing that. Not that into them, but people are buying
Yeah,
them.
it's and yeah, they
There's
will. Like again, I don't it doesn't surprise me, but like it's not for us.
there's going to be a lot of flipping of these. It's going to occur over the next year. We'll see where things settle out
Yeah,
after a year. So I'd
uh,
be interested to know. Another thing,
speculation.
another thing that I saw on my social medias. This was another dealer making a post. This was a post he made leading up to the beginning of the Magic 30 event, getting ready to head to Las Vegas for Magic 30. I'll be at the Star City Games booth selling 1001 Black Lotus. 1001 Black Lotuses. I'll be using the Magic 30 hashtag all weekend long for flash sales, blah, 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 blah. And then he posts a picture of an unlimited Black Lotus. And I just see this tweet. I followed it because I'm like, what is going on here? What does he mean 1001 Black Lotuses? Of course, it's not
Yeah,
1001
it
actual
just says
Black
Black
Lotuses.
Lotus.
I don't know why it says Black Lotus. I don't know if he just didn't type in the Lotuses. But he did have 1001 cards that said Black Lotus on them. I was curious to know what was out there because I was trying to think
Okay,
what it could be. I'm like, it can't even be collector's edition because I don't even think there's that many of the collector's edition Black Lotus out there.
no,
It can't
maybe some of
be
those
that
like
they couldn't have that many of the new 30th edition yet because I mean, packs haven't even been cracked. I mean, he works at Star City Games. I'm sure Star City Games has already gotten their deliveries, but I doubt they took those expensive packs, cracked them all, and then how many Black Lotuses could they have possibly pulled? I mean, we were killing it when we were doing
yeah.
the simulator. We pulled our old frame Lotus and several Moxes, and now when I see these Moxes go for like 400, 450, if only those theoretical packs that we opened in the simulation were real packs, Alex,
Oh yeah, we would have
we'd
done
be
okay.
using it up right now.
We would have done okay, but
But anyways, I I started reading the comments of this tweet because I'm like, maybe somebody will tell me what this could possibly be.
yeah, we got to dig a little deeper.
And of course, people ask questions like the first response is, can you please clarify what you are selling? And then he responds by giving the print runs to the alpha, beta, and unlimited.
Oh,
So it doesn't answer the question at all. And I'm immediately annoyed. Uh, I mean, as a dealer, just I understand you're trying to promote stuff. Just be open about what it is you're selling. I don't think it's that difficult. Anyways, you dig down a little further, and somebody did post what turned out to be the answer. Because I checked this guy's tweets over the next couple days, and of course, when the MTG30 event finally started and they opened up their booth, he posted what it actually was. I don't know if he had ever seen these. I had no idea what in the world this was. But it is a card that was published or printed by Wizards of the Coast, and it does have the words Black and Lotus on it. So these are the Black Lotuses that he was selling. 1001 uh, Black Lotuses for $20 a piece. The Dual Master Black Lotus special, only $20 each. He had 800 of them. I don't know. Have you ever seen this before, Alex? Did you know what this
I,
was? He had more than 800 because
it's
this is
not the
900 of
Blacker
them.
Lotus, right? We're not
No,
talking
it's
about
not the
that.
Black Lotus.
Okay.
I had no idea what Dual Masters was. This is the first. See?
Huh. Yeah.
Japanese language, Black
Oh
Lotus.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I've seen this. Yeah, with the Japanese language. I didn't know what it was.
I didn't know what it was either, and I looked it up. I found this article on Dual Masters. This was not printed all that long ago. Here's an article from The Gamer published in 2022, the beginning of the year. It happened. Wizards of the Coast has finally reprinted Magic the Gathering's reserve list staple, Black Lotus. So this happened the same year, not that long before the reprint of the Black Lotus in the Magic the Gathering 30th Anniversary
It's
Edition.
funny because in all the arguing and discussing of like
I
you
never
know,
heard this.
them messing around with the uh reserved list, like I haven't heard anyone bring this up.
And I think nobody brought it up because technically it's not a Magic the Gathering card, is what I'm gathering from
Oh.
this article. It's printed by Wizards of the Coast. So this article starts by saying it's been reprinted, except not really, because the card has been printed for a completely different game
Oh.
called Duel Masters. Although Wizards
Oh.
of the Coast stopped printing Duel Masters in English in 2006, it's remained a popular game in Japan. To celebrate its 20th anniversary, a new set has been released, including new and old cards from Duel Masters and remixes of classic Magic cards. So it's a kind of a weird thing they did. I don't know all the cards in Duel Masters. I don't know if Duel Masters ever contained any sort of Magic the Gathering card, if they did any
That's what
crossover
I'm
between Duel Masters and
getting
Magic the
from
Gathering.
that. I don't know yet, but like that's I feel like that's the implication is that like when Duel Masters was created, it like borrowed Magic cards.
The answer is yes.
Maybe. Oh, okay.
Some have been in
Cool.
Duel
Yes. All
Masters
right.
for a while already, like Jace the Mind Sculptor, Emrakul, the Eon's Torn, Black Lotus, Nicole Bolas, and Sarah Angel. So these are reprints of their previous Duel Masters appearances. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
This answered my question. I'm like, what is he? How is he bringing 1,000 of
So what do
any
the
type of
backs
Black
look like
Lotus?
on these?
I haven't seen that. Everybody's just showing the front.
Because if it's a different game, they
Yeah, I don't
if
have
we
an answer
go
to that, Alex.
go back down, it said something about double-faced cards. So I don't know if
Okay. Let me look for double faced. Double. I'm searching for double. When Wizards was looking for a way to introduce creature transformation in the original Innistrad set, inspiration was taken from Duel Masters, which used double face cards in the year before.
oh,
Double
okay.
face
So it
cards have
just
since, yeah,
pioneered it before Magic, I guess. Whatever.
yeah, a mechanic that we're not yet familiar
I
with.
see. Okay.
At least I'm not familiar with it.
Hmm.
But yeah, these are the $20 Black Lotuses he was selling. Now, they're not even for the same game, but they are a Wizards of the Coast product. I do wonder if maybe it wouldn't be such a terrible idea to like buy a $20 one. People apparently play these in their cubes because somebody asked like, "Where is this even legal?" And somebody was like, "Cube." Well, cube is just like a home. It's just a home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But
funny.
I only bring
Cube.
that up to say that apparently people who do play Magic, sometimes buy this, and then they feel like it's an acceptable replacement for their
I can understand that. I
own
mean, if you're
little
going to
group.
be allowing proxying at like your, whatever friendly table level,
Hmm.
it's at least, at least it looks pretty cool. You know
Yeah,
what
it
I
does
mean?
look pretty cool. That's what I'm thinking. Like it was not such a terrible buy for $20. Maybe it's printed by Wizard of the Coast. Yes, it's not an
Yeah.
official Magic the Gathering card, but it does look pretty cool. It does have art on it that I like. Uh, it's in Japanese language, but a lot of people love collecting. I see this especially in the pre-modern. People love like spicing up their decks with like foil printings or foreign
Yeah.
printings of foil cards. They love it. Korean, Japanese.
There's, I think
So,
it's a Japanese abeyance at the one card shop
hmm,
that I've seen a few times. It looks pretty cool. I just don't know if I can get into that because I want to be able to read the card and I can't
so do I.
read it then.
But Black Lotus is so everybody knows what Black
Yeah,
Lotus
yeah.
does.
It's simple.
Yeah, it's very simple. So if I
Like
was
I
gonna
wouldn't
have,
mind having like a Japanese lightning bolt.
yeah, yeah, that would be a good one. Japanese like foreign counter spell, foreign black border
Something that,
counter
yeah,
spell.
you know what it does for sure.
The staples, the swords of
Yeah.
plowshares, the Black Lotuses,
Without, yeah, dark ritual, things without tricky wording.
the dark rituals.
The dark rituals.
Anyways, he kept posting throughout the day. 900 left, 800 left. I was
Huh.
following some, Magic the Gathering tweets, and I actually watched a little walkthrough of the convention center that somebody named Matt Caster Mage posted on his YouTube channel. And this seemed like heaven if you were a dealer. It was just like booth after booth after booth, just lined up with people like selling. buying Magic
Oh,
cards.
that's so cool. That picture you're looking at with all those duels for sale and
This guy, people were getting all over this guy, Ben Blue Ice. I don't know
oh
exactly
yeah.
how to pronounce his name, Star City Ben, because all of the pictures he was posting of these badass collections of cards that were for sale at MTG30, everything was upside down or sideways. And people were like, "Hey, let me fix that for you." And they'd like just turn it upside down instead of sideways. And he even made a comment about it. He's like, "Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing." Doesn't know how to post, but it's just a mess, right? It's
Yeah.
hard to see a lot of his stuff. But yeah, I mean, this is the place where all the high-end dealers were, all the high-end collectors were. A lot of people exchange a lot of money, a lot of big money in Las Vegas over the weekend. I'm looking at some of these things he posted, and they were some graded Tiamats
Oh,
for
neat.
like $1,000 for a
What?
9.5, and then the 10 was $10,000. I don't know if
What?
these are foil Tiamats. I can't tell because it's kind of far away. I don't know if Tiamat ever came in a foil. Let's look
Well,
at this.
if that's the one from Forgotten Realms, I believe it's a uh extended art version. I can look it up real quick.
D&D Forgotten Realms
Yeah.
promo foil
Okay, so it's a promo
9.5.
for starters, so it's a little
Okay.
bit rarer version of that Tiamat, I guess.
They're both promo foils.
But I
So
didn't think
D&D,
promo necessarily like commanded such a big. I think it's more about the condition rating that they got,
yeah,
especially at the 10,
D&D
because that's rare.
Forgotten Realms, if I'm correct, this was just printed like a year ago, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Nobody's even played with these cards for the most part. You're not always going to get tens because most cards that come out of packs still aren't tens because it depends on the centering and all
No,
sorts of
and I
stuff.
guess almost none of them are still. It's still pretty rare because of centering and, you
Yeah.
know, minor surface. And I guess with foils, then you have to worry about is the card, pringled or warped or
Oh
something like that.
God.
So, right. So that might be why, you know, I'm not saying these cards are necessarily worth that or that, you know,
Yeah.
but I'm just trying to piece it together.
I wonder if there are any hits for these. I wonder if anybody's even interested in ever paying this much money for like a D&D Forgotten Realms
I
Tiamat that was just printed
mean,
last year, $5,000, $1,000. Some crazy
people
people are,
buy
but
weird stuff, but it's
yeah.
just seems unlikely to me.
If you just have a ton of money, I guess you're like, hey, why not
Yeah.
speculate with $1,000 here and $1,000 there? Especially if you already have all the Power Nine, everything you might want to play with. You just got money to burn. But I see all these beautiful Moxes just below this $5,000 Tiamat for $5,000, $3,000, $2,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'd
Be
rather the
hard to
Moxes.
It'd be hard to buy that Tiamat. Even if I had 25 Moxes already, I think I'd just go for another Mox over the Tiamat.
Yeah. Then I could like, I don't know, let my friends play with them. Like put them
Yeah,
in the cube.
put them in the queue, baby.
Let's see here. So
But yeah,
there's
that's
a regular Tiamat and there's a borderless Tiamat. And they're going for like $10 and $21 or something like that right now. The borderless, I think, is technically it has like foiling on it, maybe a little, maybe not.
Alex is taking off his headphones so he could sneeze into his
Sorry.
elbow,
Can
and
you
he's
hear me
put his
still?
headphones back on. Yep.
Yeah, the
That was
Tiamat.
excellent.
I have this borderless Tiamat. I pulled it from that one pack I got.
Oh, damn.
Which is sweet, but it's you know,
It's not a promo and
it's
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 not a
worth twenty
foil.
dollars. And I don't know that it's ever gonna be worth a lot
Let's
more than $20.
Alex, let's get some glitter nail polish. Let's swipe some glitter nail polish all over it, call it a foil, put it in a slab, sell it for $7,000.
Let me try searching by Tiamat.
Anyways, well, yeah, watching this Matt Castor Mays video. That's I just it's just is like just a place to like buy and sell cards, just a place to like spend a ton of money. I wasn't there. I'm sure there were people having fun, but like that's pretty much what the whole thing looked like a heaven for vendors to sell all of their high-end stuff. There was of course the artist section, and that's awesome. They had new school artists there, old school artists there, signing cards, selling prints. That would be like the coolest thing for
Yeah.
me to go to one of these big events to get some stuff signed in person, to buy some prints from the artists.
Yeah, I'd like to buy some prints maybe. I'd like to just have the opportunity to trade with people maybe, you know?
Yeah, so I'm sure there's tons of stuff going on in the background too. You know, you have all the official vendors, and the vendors were taking, they were purchasing from people there too. I'm sure they were taking trade-ins
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
you could do that with it through the vendors. You could also do that, yeah, with all the other Magic players that were in town. I'm sure you could have set something up beforehand, especially if some kind of social media presence. Say, hey, I'm going to be in Las Vegas, bringing some trade binders. These are the things I'm interested in. I'm sure you could have traded for all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, make a little list. Uh,
They had a they had a big player section, a command zone section, and I guess you could only get into the command zone section to play commander if you had a certain level of pass or above.
oh,
And they had like a pretty big section of the conference hall set aside for this, and they knew how many of these passes at that level and above they sold, which is kind of crazy that they made it as big as they did, because the whole place was like empty the whole time, because there weren't actually enough people that bought those passes to like ever fill up the command zone. So people
oh,
were posting a lot about how like, oh, great job, Wizards, you just like set aside this huge portion of this conference space
for a small number of people.
for a small number of people, and it's just empty. It's just being unused space, and like people are out playing in the hallways. Anyways, I guess
Could
people
play in the
saw
halls.
people
Like
saw
middle
some of
school again.
these. Yeah, people saw some of these posts. They did open it up later in the week, so that was good.
Well, that's good.
Because yeah, give people an opportunity to actually sit at the tables and play.
So go back
Uh,
and sorry, go ahead.
I think there were some tournaments going on too. This is another thing. You told me there was that whole beta draft. I didn't see any coverage of the beta draft yet,
Really?
at least from not from any of the social media people yet. I'm sure Wizards
Maybe it's
had like
today.
I'm sure Wizards was recording it and stuff like that. That would be cool, a cool thing too, to go to one of these tournaments and actually watch like high stakes, high pressure tournament play going on,
Uh-huh.
like from the stands. I would enjoy that too.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen
Especially if it
any
was
coverage
like
of that yet.
beta and it was, it was pretty
Oh yeah.
simple and I knew what all the stuff was. I was familiar with it. It'd be cool to see how people who are drafting that were, you're going to get a lot of bad cards. So it'd be cool to see what they do with what they have.
This reminds me. So this brought up some other thing. There was another booth that I saw a couple people recording, and I don't want to say the name of this company. I don't even remember the name of this company, but they had like the worst. It was terrible. It was the worst booth I'd ever seen. It's like people were paying them money to like open packs of the 100th anniversary or the 30th anniversary edition, or I actually saw them pay to like open revised packs. And they just had like the most annoying hype man I've ever come across in my entire life, like screaming into the microphone as like the person was pulling out like a life lace from revised or something. And he's like, "We're so excited. Oh my God." It was terrible. It was like the worst used car salesman you could ever imagine. So I know the name of this company. I'm never going to purchase anything from this company ever, just because they have the most annoying salesman I have ever seen anywhere. I'm being very negative right now, but also I don't have a problem with vendors hyping up their stuff. I don't have a problem with people selling things that are like way out of my way out, more expensive than I'll ever be able to afford.
Yeah.
I don't really get jealous. I don't get that much FOMO. I've resigned myself, like I said, from the time I was like 13 to probably never having Power 9, because it's just always been out of my reach. Even as I've made more money as I've gotten older, it's like it gotten even more
Yeah.
expensive. And it's like I could buy some of this stuff now if I wanted to, but it's just not a financially sound decision for me to make. I
Yeah.
have like to make more stable investments for my future. So I don't really get jealous, but when I see just like it's just slimy sales behavior.
Yeah.
Nobody's
So
that
what was this
excited
scenario? Like people were paying the the vendors so that
to
the
open
vendors would
it on
open
some.
the packs?
They were opening on live stream, and they had
Hmm.
some guy like in the background hyping it up, like, "Oh my God,
But they
tutor!"
were the ones opening the packs and they were keeping the cards from it, right?
I'm
Is that what
assuming
you're
they
saying?
weren't actually keeping the cards. I'm assuming they were being sent to the people after the live opening. I would hope so.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
I would hope so, but even it was just slimy sales behavior. That's all. Nobody was really that excited to open up a new
No.
frame demonic tutor from a 30th anniversary pack.
Yeah, yeah. Just trying to make it sound sweet.
One other thing
Um,
I saw from the weekend that I thought was cool. I'm going to interrupt you one more time.
it's okay.
The people who bought the Black Lotus pass. I don't know if you remember. This was like many weeks ago. We were like, "What are these passes again? What do you get when you pay this much money?" And we pulled up
Yeah,
the
we looked it
website.
up.
We were like, "Oh, they do get a lot of stuff. You have to pay a certain amount of money. You get access to certain parts of the conference hall. But then in addition to that, like they gave quite a bit of swag too, right? You were like, oh, they get packs of this, packs of that.
Yeah, there was stuff. Yeah, you got. I remember now that you bring it up. They were getting like packs of products and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
They included as a secret surprise. Nobody knew about this until
Oh,
they came up and they picked up their stuff. Every Black Lotus pass holder also received 4 booster packs of Magic the Gathering 30th Anniversary Edition,
oh, wow.
which, regardless of how you feel about that,
Yeah,
that's a
it's still
thousand
a.
dollars. It's
It's
currently a
still a. Yeah, you
marketplace of
could
$1,000.
sell it to
So
someone.
so there were definitely some people that I saw posting online who were very
Mhm.
excited, not like millionaires, young people who probably love Magic the Gathering and they just really wanted to go to this and
Yeah, yeah.
wanted to buy the
If
Black
they're
Lotus
giving some
pass.
of it away, that's cool. That's more the sort of thing I want. Yeah, like
Yeah.
fits more with the spirit of what they were talking about. Like letting
Some
people have that chance to open something old, and I don't know, even
Yeah,
if it's
so
pricey.
these people, there's still people they still had to pay a lot of money to get that. But like I said, they're not all rich, they're not all independently wealthy and stuff. And that's a pretty cool find. Like if you and me were in our 20s or something and we saved up $1,000 to go to Vegas and get that pass and pulled those out of your bag unexpectedly, that'd be fucking hype, man.
Yeah, it'd pay for itself. It'd pay for your,
Exactly.
that's
Anyways, that's
cool.
enough of that MTG30 rambling.
That's okay. See if you can get back in on that Tmot because I was looking up the different versions,
Want
and
me to
there is a
zoom in?
promo version. It's called an ampersand promo.
These all say ampersand. I was just gonna say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the ampersand promo looks like it's selling for like $450 or more right now. So that's a graded version of, yeah, a $450 Tiamat.
What is the ampersand promo again? I've seen this before. It's not like something unique to this Tiamat. There are ampersand promos. Is there an ampersand somewhere like in the art? Am I asking a stupid question?
In the picture on TCG Player, it's like overlaying over top of the actual artwork. But I don't know
Okay,
if that's
that's
real. Yeah, look
that's
at
what
the
I
TCG
wondered.
Player version. I don't really know what this looks like.
I
Here's a
can
real life picture.
I can sort
Yeah,
of
see
see it
that?
here.
It's like faint.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm looking up a real picture of another one, and with the lighting, you can almost not see it at all. So I think it's just that booth lighting.
Yeah, I can't see it
Can't really see
through.
it. It's like a shadowy dragon-shaped ampersand over top of the artwork.
Okay. And people want to pay like an extra $1,000 for that.
I guess because they just think it's very rare. Well, yeah, they're
It
going
is.
for
It
$440. It looks like
Yeah, it is.
at
It
the
is
moment.
rare. I agree with that, but it's like okay, an ampersand that obscures the artwork,
I know,
sort
I
of.
know. I agree. It's like again, it's like a I don't know. I don't understand the promo world too much. That I know they make promos when new sets come out and stuff, and they're sometimes included as like whatever box toppers or event
Yeah,
prizes or whatever. But I don't know. I know there's a range of which ones are super rare and which ones aren't, I guess, or whatever.
yeah.
So I don't really know much about it.
This is just me personally. I like collecting all sorts of things, but I never really liked things that were pre-made as a collectible. So
That's what I was going to bring that
yeah,
up again. Yeah, like because that's what it sort of seems like. It's like
I'm staring
falsely
at these
scarce.
promos, foils, ampersands that are like, oh my
Yeah,
god, they're so rare because we decided just to print 3 with the ampersand on it. Whoopity
yeah.
freaking do.
Also,
And right
dude,
below that, there's all this Power 9 that, like, you know,
just sitting
these
there
are the
looking for a home.
originals. These are the originals, baby. These are the things that were just printed for like 12-year-olds to open up in packs and shuffle and stuff. And they weren't necessarily, nobody really ever thought they were going to be worth $2,000, $5,000, $3,000. This is the kind of stuff that I like. as a collector. The stuff that wasn't made to be necessarily a collectible. It
Yeah.
just turned out that way because
Yeah,
people
these are
ended
just
up loving
rare
it.
old historical pieces of the game.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Hell yeah.
well, did you see? I don't think we've talked about this yet. They added like some of the cards, I guess, in Brothers War are going to be serial numbered. So there'll be like card X or whatever. There'll be a foil version. There'll be a serialized number where they print a version where they print 1,000 of them and they're labeled, you know,
Hmm.
0 to 999.
And then
Um,
people want one. People want number one. That's going to be like the most expensive.
and people want 69 and 420
Oh, oh,
and
okay.
69 and
Well, I'm not a pervert or a drug
420,
addict, so I didn't
probably
think about that one out.
666,
Yeah.
probably
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, they should
So a few
make a
special
special.
numbers.
They should make a special print run of like demonic tutor, where they number it, and the 666 demonic tutor would be like ten
Oh yeah.
times. We're like 10 times as much as
Oh
any of
yeah.
the others. That'd be the
So yeah,
shit,
and I
man.
don't know, that's the same kind of thing to me. Like I understand that those will be worth money, but like that doesn't excite me at all to have like a serial number on the card. I'd rather just have a rare old card.
Yeah, same. I don't really care about that. People, that happens with cars and stuff too. That happens with all sorts of stuff. Anything that's like numbered, they want like
Yeah.
the first like 10 produced or something. I'm trying to think of what else that applies to. People care about like the number at which it came off the production line.
Oh,
That's a weird one though.
antique firearms for starters. Like there's certain
Oh,
guns that they only made a very, very small number of, and they're serial numbered. So
oh, and the other thing that can happen in that case too is the serial number then allows you to
trace like
tr-
it's yeah,
track the what's the word I'm thinking
like
of?
I'm gonna say it wrong.
Kerber, Kerber, Provenance, Provenance, Provenance. There we go. I
Provenance.
think we're getting at it. And if it's
Because we're
at some
American.
point, if it's at some point like linked to a big collector or somebody who's prominent for something,
Yeah,
you can be like, oh,
it
this
was
was the
Teddy
one that was owned
Roosevelt's.
by.
You know.
Exactly. It was Teddy Roosevelt's Mox jet. I mean,
Yep.
everybody's going to want to have that.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you want to get a Power Nine that was owned by a former president, and then you want to have a whole collection of Power Nine that were owned by different former presidents. That would be amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. The 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 Franklin Pierce time twister.
Yes. I wonder if any presidents have played Magic the Gathering yet, or if there will ever be any presidents that play Magic the
Highly
Gathering.
doubt it. They're all
People,
too old.
people, people in the future are going to be going after Posties, Post Malone's
Yeah, for sure.
cards.
Yeah. If they can get that authenticated somehow, uh, for sure. Anyone who's a celebrity. That's funny.
In addition to giving out the Magic 30 boosters to like people who bought the Black Lotus, they gave some free ones out to like some rather rich Magic the Gathering players, people in the space, and of course that made people very angry.
Uh,
There's like a prominent football player who I've heard on some podcasts, and he owns a card shop out somewhere. Can't remember where he's located, maybe out west somewhere. He was an NFL player, and there's an MLB player who's also pretty well known as a Magic the Gathering player, and
oh,
they post they posted some stuff on social media like thanks to Wizards like us, and people were like exploding. They were like, yeah, give it to the guy who has $20 million. It's marketing, people. That's just what
yeah,
happens
yeah.
when you're
It's
rich and
marketing. They're
famous.
gonna
You just
give
get free
some
stuff.
to get that exposure. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Like
you just get the exposure.
it's
It's
cool
a
they're giving some to hopefully some to some, poor people too. I
it's a
hope.
very weird phenomenon how when you get famous and rich, all of a sudden people just want to give you things.
Give you more, yeah.
And when you didn't have anything, nobody would give you anything. But the moment you're rich and famous, people just want to hand you stuff. They just want to give you
Yeah.
expensive stuff so you can wear it, so you can take pictures of it, and then you're linked to it, and that gives them free advertising.
Yeah,
Kind of depressing, but
it is.
that's just the way it works. It's always worked that way, and it's just going to continue.
Yeah, I mean it makes
Especially,
sense. It's a logical
yeah,
effect. Like
I
so
understand why they're
it'll
doing it.
keep happening. Let's go with the DiCaprio thing.
What about the? Oh yeah, okay. So I wanted to
Isn't
post
that
some.
meme of DiCaprio making the funny face with the drink?
I wanted to show some other things.
Okay.
I don't know who this guy is. He seems to be, I don't know if he's a high end, he is a dealer of some sort. Bash McAllister. I don't know if his real name is Bash or not, but this is a perfect, this is a perfect image for somebody named Bash McAllister. Uh, Django Unchained, Leo with a Monster Energy drink. Co-owner Card Rich, buying and selling cards since '97. Yeah, and his whole
Wow.
Twitter profile is just like black bordered Power 9, white bordered Power 9, LEDs, cradles, so he deals in high end stuff. He's eating the high end sushi in Las Vegas. He's showing off the high end watches. But the one thing I wanted to say was he posted this. This is super cool. I guess Heritage Auctions had a booth.
I
Heritage
want
Auctions,
sushi now.
yeah, I know, so do I. I'm gonna have some of that during my vacation, my upcoming
Oh,
vacation.
congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. Heritage Auctions, I knew about them because I've been collecting books for a long time, old books. And Heritage is like one of the biggest auction houses for like old paper, like extremely expensive, important historical pieces and like maps, manuscripts,
Okay.
books, stuff like that. And I remember hearing back in the day, maybe like 10 years ago was the first time I heard though that Heritage is now selling like magic cards, or Heritage sold a big magic card for an expensive
Mm.
amount. This is they deal in a lot of like, if you want a sealed box of legends or something, Heritage recently auctioned off a lot of old sealed boxes, alpha, beta, the big, most expensive, highest end, best graded lotuses and from Alpha and Power 9, they go through Heritage often. Anyways, Heritage Auctions had a booth. This guy says, so my buddy has his signed artist proof Black Lotus at the Heritage Auctions booth, one of 4 known to exist signed. So this isn't even alpha. This is the artist proof of
Yeah.
Lotus, which
Has
they're square
square
corners
corners.
like that. And I think they have no back, or I don't know. I mean, they have a back, of course, but I think it's blank. I can't remember exactly what they are. Likely the most expensive item in the building at Magic 30. The last one sold to Post Malone for $800,000. I thought of this because I just said Post Malone. So that's super cool.
Wow.
This is when people are like, oh, these are historical
Yeah.
museum pieces.
Yeah.
This is the kind
That's
of thing
like literally the prototype. If we were talking about like, cars or, whatever watches, this would be like the prototype of them.
yes.
Pretty
The
cool.
prototype signed by the
But
original artist,
signed
who's
by,
one of
yeah.
the best artists in the game, who is no longer with us.
Yeah.
Christopher Rush died. I can't remember when. Wasn't all that long ago. But yeah, I just thought that was cool. This is the kind of stuff that I just like to look at. This is the kind of stuff that's like so rare, so expensive. I don't even look at it and be like, oh my God, I want one. I just like to see it.
Yeah.
I just think it's neat. Anywho, Bash McAllister posted that.
Wow.
Oh, there's something else that came from Bash McAllister's Twitter feed too. Him and his buddies were out to dinner, and I guess they were cracking packs of Magic 30, 30th anniversary. And I thought it was hilarious because he was filming it and then he posted like what they were opening. One pack, the rare was a Life Lace,
Ooh.
and the other pack they had a Armageddon. They must have had 2 rares. It was an Armageddon, and then the other one was the Hive, Alex.
Oh,
I
the
was
hive.
psyched. I saw somebody pull the Hive. Nobody even went, oh man, they didn't really comment on that pack all that much. The Life Lace, of course, was a terrible pack. They seem to be okay with the Armageddon and the Hive. That's a lot of money, man, for
Yeah.
a new border Armageddon.
Armageddon. Armageddon's better. I mean, it's like in the, you know, top 50th percentile, probably, but
Yeah.
like it's not a power 9 or a duel.
According to Bash says, I don't care what anybody says. This product is fantastic. It's going to sell incredibly well. So Bash, remember, he has certain incentives to talk up all these products. So
Yeah. I
he's
mean,
a
it's
he's a
certainly
high
going to
end
sell. I agree with
collector.
him. People are going to buy it,
Oh
especially because
yeah,
there probably
yeah,
won't be a whole lot of it, so it'll sell
yes.
out. But and he says the dude looked up after opening them and said, "I just want to crack more." Well, of course, because you only get to crack a couple of them because they're expensive. So of course, like people like cracking packs. It's not a secret.
Here
If
it
they
is.
were cheap, people would be
Here,
buying more of
here
them.
comes the hive. Oh, the hive! I saw the hive. Nobody
Boom.
was commenting on it. I was all pumped. It is cool that they have. Oh, so the mountain that he pulled was actually the old Arabian Nights mountain art. Like it's like a
Oh, okay.
reprint of the Arabian Nights mountain. That's pretty cool. Anyways, those are the things that caught my attention from the Magic the Gathering 30. People posting the cards for the most part, all the vendors, all the cool stuff to look at. I wouldn't really necessarily want to go to Las Vegas and walk around a conference hall for a couple days just to stare at a bunch of expensive cards. It's kind of neat. Maybe like a 1 day thing. I don't know. I would want to go for it to watch gameplay. Would be cool. I think it'd be cool to watch like the beta booster tournament. That would be sweet, and it would be sweet to see the artists. Maybe like a 1 day thing. Maybe if it was in. I
Well,
said
if you
something
had
about the
friends going, like if you went with your friends, you could even play while you're there. You know what I mean? You could hang
Yeah,
out in like some kind of, I don't know if they have an area where you can like play and trade and stuff.
people
Like,
definitely did that. Yeah, there's a ton of that going on. Yeah, it would be a good place like to meet up from people across the country, and you all decided like you were going to go meet up there. That would be fun.
yeah,
Just to travel to Las Vegas for a con, that doesn't really excite me. When SCG Con was like really close to me, I was like, oh, next year I should go to that. But I just have to drive a half hour. Going to Las Vegas, man.
yeah.
I'd imagine myself spending a ton of money there too.
It would be expensive. Yeah, you'd have to, yeah,
That's what I
because you
feel.
want to go to like a decent restaurant and stuff.
I'm gonna go to restaurants. I'm not gonna stay in a crappy hotel.
Right.
And then I'm gonna be staring at all these cars. I'm gonna have to buy something that otherwise I wouldn't have bought if I wasn't there.
Correct. Yes.
I would
Probably
have
going to
made
end
at
up
least
buying.
one
You don't want to
stupid
go there and
purchase.
then not end up buying like any cards at all.
I'd
Kind
have
of
to make
boring.
at least one stupid purchase, then I'd also have to buy something from an artist, at least one artist, because I'd be like, oh, it's the artist there. I'm gonna have to buy a print, and it's more fiscally responsible for me to just podcast about it and watch people post.
Yeah. Virtual living.
Yeah. Anyways, Alex, I think that's the end of the Magic the Gathering 30th anniversary stuff. There is another new thing that I wanted to talk about, though. This is another new happening in the world of Magic the Gathering. I'm going to pull some of this stuff up. This is a new product that Wizards is releasing, and I know I only buy old frame stuff, but if I was going to buy some new frame stuff, I saw this and I thought this would be pretty cool. Right now, if I wanted to buy something from Wizards, instead of purchasing the 30th anniversary edition cards for $1,000, I could see myself picking this up. This is a secret layer that they're printing. I don't really know what the secret layers are. I'm sure this is something you've told me multiple times already, and I've forgotten because there are some things, like I said, I just decided I don't really want to know about. But then I'll
Yeah.
ask anyways, pretend like I care, and then
Yeah.
somebody will give me the answer, and then I'll just immediately forget because I'm not even really listening.
Well, that's the case here.
Do you tell me again what a secret layer is?
Okay, so it's a set small block of cards. Just like whatever, like a dozen cards or something, or less, maybe.
This one's
Um,
30, but they're
30.
doing
Okay,
30
cool.
special because it's a 30th anniversary secret layer.
Okay, sweet. And a lot of them are crossovers to different universes, or they are like they have something in common, like they're all done by the same artist. Like I believe they just had a Dan Frazier secret lair. I think because he
I do
started
remember
doing.
hearing that.
Okay,
It was jewel themed of some sort. It
yeah,
wasn't
he
like,
did those. Yeah, correct. I
and it
think.
looked pretty cool to me when it came out.
Yeah, and they did the Street Fighter one, which I had been
Okay.
looking
Okay,
at.
yeah. Like all those
Um,
Walking Dead, Street Fighter
yeah,
things, those are all secret layers
and
too.
then yeah, and they're not all crossovers like that. But then there was the one that was like for Pride, and then I don't know. But anyways, it's a small set of cards, and you order it, and you get all of the cards in it, one of each of them. So it's just like there's no randomness. It's just you buy that little set, um, and they make them unique with like somehow like with unique art usually,
Mm-hmm.
or I guess always I think. And I believe what the deal is with them is their print to demand. Like they take orders from them prior to the printing, and then they print that many of them, and that's it.
Oh, so not really print, not print on demand.
No, no. Oh yeah, yeah.
So
That's probably a confusing way to say it.
so
Like
so there's a one printing based on
yes,
what they feel the demand is for the
yeah.
product
Like how
at
many
that
orders I
moment,
guess they have
and then
from
that's it.
game stores and stuff like yeah,
Okay.
and that's it. And you order them. You can order them directly, I believe, but then game stores will also sell them.
Okay.
Um, but people, yeah, people get them shipped directly to them, I guess, from WOTC when they buy them a lot of the time.
Okay. Well, I thought this one was pretty cool. I don't know what the price usually is for these secret layers, but the price for this 30th anniversary secret layer, 30 cards for $149.
Yeah, okay.
And
They're
what they
probably
did,
between that and $50, like in that range, like
okay.
50 to
What they
100 usually or something.
what they did is they commissioned new art for one card from each year that Magic has been around so far.
Oh,
So starting from 1993 to whatever friggin' year we're in right now. What's 93 plus 30, Alex? 2022. From sets from 93 to 2022. And this one spoke to me because it's reprinting of old cards. This is the kind of new stuff that I'm interested in. The new stuff that has some sort of link to the old things that we used to play with back in the day.
yes. I'm totally cool with yeah, seeing like this the one right up right now you have Necropotence and Shivan Dragon and
It's
Mishra's
awesome.
Factory up, and I like all three of them. I think they're cool.
Yeah.
Uh
So 93, 94, 95, the cards they chose were Shivan Dragon, which is kind of like wild psychedelic head shop dragon art. Mishra's Factory kind of looks like a Sims, like a Mishra's Factory
yeah, it
inside
does.
of
It
the
looks like a
inside of the
computer game, like a
Sims.
little yeah. That's pretty neat.
These are all like full art. What do they call it again?
Like
Borderless
yeah,
extended art.
probably extended art.
I don't know if this EN means anything. Does that mean extended something? I don't know. I won't get into that.
English, maybe?
Yeah, probably just does mean English. SLC maybe means secret layer something. Secret layer card, secret layer
Probably.
collector.
I think so. I
The
would guess.
Shivan 93, 94, 95, Shivan Dragon, Mishra's Factory, Necropotence, which looks like, I don't know, a mix between like skater art and
Yeah.
an 80s Anthrax cover or something. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
93, 94, 95, 96, 97, and 98, they chose Limdol's Vault, which has kind of like an R. Crumb style look
Oh,
to
weird.
it, almost, in my mind. Trade Rin Rider and Smokestack. Smokestack's kind of wild. Smokestack, I don't even know. So now after Smokestack, we're going to get into cards that I'm not that familiar with. Some
I
of,
know of
because
Smokestack. I don't even
I
know. I
do
don't know
too.
Trade Wind Rider.
So Trade Rin Rider, this was Tempest, maybe. Let's look this up. I do know this card. This was a big card when it came out because it's a boomerang in a creature.
Okay.
And it was in some of like the type 2 or type 1.5. I can't remember the formats again. Maybe the type 2 big tournament decks are running Trade Wind Rider. It's 3 colorless, 1 blue, 1/4 flying creature. Tap, tap 2 untapped creatures you control and return target permanent to its owner's hand. So
That's pretty cool.
you could bounce any permanent. And it was big in blue white control decks and all sorts of different types of
Why don't
decks.
I have that?
Tempest might be, I don't know. I have at least one and I wanted to buy some more because it's not actually that expensive right now.
I definitely like this new art
It is
more than the
Tempest.
old one.
$6.13 market price for the old
Okay.
Tempest.
They're up for $4 and something right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the new art on this new one though. That's pretty cool.
The art is very cool on all these. I don't know
Yeah, I
what's
like
going
the
on with the
Limdo's
artist
Vault.
names. I don't know what the jokes are. I don't know how we know who's responsible for this art. The Limdol's Vault at the bottom, it says the artist is Wizard of Barge.
Huh.
The artist for Trade Wind Rider is Brooklyn Snobs. But then some of them seem like real names because Smokestack is Jamie Zuverza, unless that's a joke that I'm not getting. That doesn't mean anything. That just sounds
Huh.
like somebody's name, right? Jamie.
Yeah, okay. So when they commission people to do secret layers, sometimes it's like a specific artist, but sometimes they do it with like I guess like a game store or some sort of like
Okay.
business entity retail or something. So those might be like, yeah, Wizards of Barge maybe is maybe like a store or something.
Okay. Because yeah, the Shivan Dragon is Justine Jones, and then the Mishra's Factory is DXTR. Is that
Huh.
some art? That could be some
That could be either.
artist name.
That could be an
Dexter, yeah.
artist's name or a business, yeah. I like that Mishra's Factory. That's cool. It looks like a Super
It is
Nintendo game.
cool. It is cool. It's very cool.
Huh. These are pretty nice. I wonder what they'll go for as singles if you don't want to buy the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm digging them. This is one of the new things that Wizards has put out since I've been back in the game that I'm really digging.
The oldest ones will probably be the most expensive out of the set. Probably, unless they have some
N-
really iconic cards farther down that list.
99, 2000, and 2001. I know a couple of these cards. Squee Goblin Nabob is a card that I was going to talk to you about in the Goblin segment, and I never got to it yet. We'll get to that eventually. That's when I was going to introduce you to it. I don't think you knew Squee. Do you know Squee?
No, I know the character from like the
Yeah.
flavor text of other cards and stuff, but he's like on the Weatherlight. He's like with the Weatherlight people, right? Uh,
I don't know that, but
yeah, I
I
think
do
he's like
know
part of the Weatherlight crew gang or something. But I don't know this card. I haven't seen this card.
it's very big in a lot of pre-modern decks, and it's like a staple of the survival of the fittest deck and some other
Oh, okay.
decks. Squee is, and it's also a card that I thought of when we talked about how Magic the Gathering like expanded our vocabulary when we were young, because it's still doing that. Because I didn't know what a nabob was until I heard about Squee Goblin Nabob,
No, I don't know what that is either.
and I'm probably going to screw it up, but it's like I think it's like a Muslim trader of great wealth or
Oh, okay.
something.
Like some sort of okay. Huh.
Let me look it up again. Nabob, a Muslim official or governor under the Mughal Empire, a
Huh.
person who returned from India to Europe with a fortune,
Person of
or a person of
conspicuous
some
wealth or high
with high
status.
status. So the original art for Squee Goblin Nabob is quite funny. I'll pull that up for you. It's a tiny little goblin in like a giant, oversized, like in like giant, oversized kingly garb.
Oh yeah.
It's all blurry, but if you look at the card itself, it's funny. He's got like this smirk on his face. He's wearing this giant like Henry VIII type
Robe
robe, yeah,
thing.
and like
Yeah.
a staff. It's funny. Uh, but it's a really good card. Two colorless, one red. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may return Squee Goblin Nabob from your graveyard to your hand. So like he's a recurring engine for like any kind of sacrifice thing you want to run.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be good
Any
for
kind of
yeah. I have to play
any
a
kind
red
of
black
any kind of
sacrifice deck.
discard, even a discard deck. If you have some card where like every turn you have to discard something, you could just keep doing it with Squee.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. He could be yeah for a discard upkeep cost or something. I
Yeah.
like that.
Pretty cool art. I really love the original art though. It's so goofy. That it's hard
Yeah,
for
I
me
think
not to like
that
it.
original is kind of neat looking.
This card I do not know. The 99 card is Lin CV Defiant Hero. One colorless, two white, legendary creature, human rebel. This might be a staple of rebel decks, I'm assuming. It's a 1/3. X colorless and tap. Search your library for a rebel permanent card with mana X value or less. Put it onto the battlefield and shuffle. Okay, this seems crazy. That seems quite good, right? For a rebel deck.
Yeah.
3 colorless. Put target rebel card from your graveyard onto the bottom of your library. So
Okay, cool.
cartoonish art there. Wild Mongrel is the 2001 card. I've seen Wild Mongrel before. This art is very weird. I
Art's
don't know
weird.
where it's coming from. The artist credited here as Crocodile Jackson. It's a dog that's like effed up on pills, and it's like giving a thumbs up to let you know that it's not dead. That's what it looks like to me. For some reason, it's also presenting at the same time. I don't know. One colorless, one green, 2/2. Discard a card. Wild Mongrel gets +1/+1 and becomes the color of your choice until end of turn. So I think this was like a staple in Threshold decks, Madness decks, discard decks.
Okay.
It could, if you're gonna run in a deck where you wanted to discard, have a Wild Mongrel there. It's a 2/2 for 2 mana. 2002, 2003, and 2004. Now we're gonna get into cards I've never seen before, because past 2003 and past, it's gonna be like all new border stuff. I don't know
Okay, yeah.
anything about this. Even 2002, I don't know. Genesis, 4 colorless, 1 green, a 4/4 creature incarnation. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Genesis is in your graveyard, you may pay 2 colorless, 1 green. If you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So this seems pretty cool too. Just bring back any creature if it's in your graveyard. Chrome Mox. I think Chrome Mox is in Mirrodin, so I think this is now where we're getting into the original new border cards. Genesis
Okay.
is from Judgment, by the way. I remember that now. I didn't remember the card, but I do remember it's from Judgment.
Okay.
So there's maybe nothing from Scourge. I guess they were just picking one from each year, not necessarily one from each set. So Chrome Mox is 0.
Right, yeah.
When
Chrome
Chrome
Mox
Mox
would be a valuable one from this.
enters the battlefield, you may exile a non-artifact, non-land card from your hand. Add 1 mana of any of the exiled card's colors. So you have to exile a card, not put it in your graveyard. It's a 0 casting cost, multicolored Mox. What does this go for in its original? And is this the first old border reprint of
Probably.
this? And if so, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Chrome Mox first printed in Mirrodin, $75. Just been going steady up since 2017, really. What's it been reprinted in? Double Masters Extra, Extended Art, Eternal Masters, Grand Prix promos, Masterpiece Series Kaladesh Inventions, 30th Anniversary Countdown Kit, World Champion decks. So yeah, this is if you want an old border style Chrome Mox, and to be honest, I'm digging the art on this one more than the art on the others that I'm seeing.
Yeah, I like this.
Especially more than the art in Mirrodin. I'm not a fan of that, but that's just me personally. So yeah, man, I mean, let's say that's going for $75, just like the Mirrodin one. All the others have market prices of 70 or more. That's half the cost of your secret lair.
Yeah. Dang.
Glimpse of Nature, 2004. No clue what this is. Never seen it before. I like the art. It's an old, like, Japanese style ink. I don't know the style. An ink painting, ink work. Painted by Zheng Shan. Is that the real artist name? I don't know. 1 green sorcery. Whenever you cast a creature spell this turn, draw a card. Pretty cool. Lightning Helix,
Huh, I like
Bogard
that.
and Hellkite, and Ponder. Have you ever heard of any of these cards? I've heard of
Yeah,
Ponder. I don't
Ponder
know
for
what it
sure.
does. Drip an eyeball.
Yeah, that's weird.
Lightning Helix is 1 red, 1 white instant. Deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. So that's pretty cool. That's a healing salve and a lightning bolt in 1 for the mana cost of a healing salve and a lightning bolt. Fancy. Bogart and Hellkite, 6 colorless, 2 red, creature dragon, 5/5, flash, flying. When Bogart and Hellkite enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage divided as you choose among any number of targets. That's awesome. Huge mana cost, but awesome. Ponder 1 blue sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle. Draw a card. So it's a card draw, reordering. You can shuffle.
Hmm.
Pretty good.
I know it's a very popular card.
Okay. Mermaids dripping out of eyeballs.
Hey, all right.
Eyeballs with tears that contain mermaids. That's the art on the new Ponder. 2008, 2009 to 2010, Heritage Druid, Bloodbraid Elf, Sun Titan. I've heard of Bloodbraid Elf.
Yeah,
Heritage
so have
Druid
I.
is 1 green, 1/1, Elf Druid, tap 3 untapped elves you control to add 3 mana. So a mana engine. Most of your elves are already going to produce mana, though. I don't know. Bloodbraid Elf, 2 colorless, 1 red, 1 green. An Elf Berserker with haste and cascade for 3/2. Alex, ask me what cascade is.
What's Cascade, Steve?
I don't know. Do you?
No, neither do I.
we haven't gotten this far yet into the magic sets. Sun Titan is 4 colorless, 2 white, 6/6 creature giant with vigilance. Whenever Sun Titan enters the battlefield or attacks, you may return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I like the
Good.
art on Sun Titan.
It's different.
Yeah. It's very
Looks like
illustrative.
some like cell shaded video games I've seen or things like that.
Very geometric. I like the line work. I like the colors. 2011, 2012, and 2013 are Birthing Pod, which I've heard of. I've heard people say the words Birthing Pod, but I don't know what it does. Deathrite Shaman, Elspeth, Sun Champion. So Birthing Pod is 3 colorless. A mana symbol I've never seen, Alex. What are these mana symbols that they have on cards in 2011? Is it supposed to be a green?
I
It's
don't
the
think so.
color. It's the
I don't know what
color
that is.
green. Okay, here the old men have run into a problem with Burning Pod. We don't even know what the casting cost of Burning Pod is. It's 3 colorless and something.
Line
Taps.
through an eyeball.
Yeah, tap, sacrifice a creature, search your library for a creature card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrifice creature's mana value. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Activate only as a sorcery. It's an artifact.
Okay, so that little green dingly,
Mm-hmm.
that can be paid with either 1 green or 2 life.
Oh, that's new. Never come across something like that before, Alex. I'm learning something new every day. It seems like a
And that
pretty good,
symbol is the
pretty
symbol
powerful
from
card too.
the set. It's the set symbol from New Phyrexia. So I feel like
New
I've heard
Phyrexia.
them talk about this before. It's like Phyrexian mana symbol or something.
Okay, that fits too if you give up
Yeah, a
life for
card
that.
with Phyrexian mana symbols and its mana costs is each color that appears in that mana cost, regardless of how that cost may have been paid.
Oh my
That's what
god,
we're
Alex,
playing. So,
we're learning new magic.
yep.
The artist for this version of Birthing Pod is Wooden Cyclops.
Mm.
Deathrite Shaman is now.
I
What
like
is
this art.
this when it's swamp and forest
You can
in the
pay either, I
same
think.
man? Either one, not both. Okay, it
I
seems like
believe either
either.
one.
1/2 creature elf shaman. Tap to exile target land card from a graveyard. Add 1 mana of any color. Pay a black and tap to exile target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard. Each opponent loses 2 life. Pay a green, tap, exile target creature from a graveyard. You gain 2 life.
Not even your own graveyard, from a
Yeah, just
graveyard.
any graveyard.
All that for
So
1 mana, and it's wow,
man, that's crazy.
it's very good.
Alex, you need some bayous and some Deathrite Shamans.
I know.
Elspeth Sun Champion, Old Border, Rebecca Guay. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She makes all sorts of kick-ass art. She's the artist for the new Secret Layer version, Old Border of Elspeth Sun Champion. 4 colorless, 2 white. Planeswalker Legend. Put 4 loyalty use counters on Elspeth. Opponents can attack Elspeth as though she were you. Any damage she suffers depletes that much loyalty. If Elspeth has no loyalty, she abandons you. That's rude. Once during each of your turns, you may add or spend loyalty as indicated for the desired effect. I guess this was what Planeswalker would look like in like the old frame with the old text
Yeah,
boxes.
yeah.
I wonder if this is the first time they've
That's
done
cool.
this. Oh, Alex, +1 colorless creates 3 soldiers.
Oh,
Each is a
holy
white
cow.
1/1 creature. I need Elspeth for my Ice and Crusader.
That's broken. 3
Uh,
soldiers. Boom.
uh,
Here's 3
Chieldorn
soldiers.
Outpost deck.
Oh, look at our next ability.
-3. I said +1 colorless. This I'm screwed up. I'm screwing up planeswalkers. It's plus
1 loyalty counter.
loyalty counter.
Yeah.
So basically you add a loyalty counter and you get something awesome.
Yes.
Oh man. Can you only
Once
add
per turn.
one per turn? Okay. This is another thing you explained to me before that I forgot.
I had to
-3.
figure that out too, though. I wasn't sure about that initially. I only remember because it says it on this version.
-3 loyalty counter. All creatures in play with power 4 or greater are destroyed. It's a friggin' retribution of the meek in
Yeah.
a
So it
creature.
works really well with the
Holy
soldier
smokes.
white weenie.
Yes. -7 loyalty counter for the rest of the game. Creatures you control gain +2/+2 and flying. So she's a 2 crusade plus flying. That's wild. I like Elspeth Sun Champion.
Yeah, I like the art too.
I wonder how much Elspeth Sun Champion goes for. Elspeth Sun's Champion, excuse me. Originally printed in Theros. Never heard of Theros before. Elspeth Sun Champion can be purchased for about $12 market price. This new version looks so much cooler, in my opinion.
I agree.
And it's got the art's awesome by one of the best artists in the game, and it's the old border, and it has the old text box. Might be the first time. I don't know if it's the first time I've ever reprinted a Planeswalker with an old border and the old text box, but that's pretty freaking cool, man. Like I'm looking. The more I look at this, like the more I want to just spend $150 on it.
It's not bad. It's pretty cool. I mean,
I think it's really cool.
I'm way more excited about this than I am the
Yeah.
dumb one.
So we got 9 more to go through, and then I'll be done. 2014, 2015, 2016 cards are Siege Rhino, which I've heard about the Siege Rhino before. I've just heard it mentioned. People love the Siege Rhino
This is a
decks at some
very
point.
like black light poster-y, mushroomy art
Yes.
here.
Dragon Lord Uichtai? I have no idea.
Ojutai?
Ojitai.
That's
And
what I'll say.
Thalia Heretic Cathar.
And the Dragon Lord, that's pretty cool. It reminds me of like Samurai Jack or Kung
I
Fu
was trying to
Panda
think
art.
of the word. I'm not the word. The show Samurai Jack is the show that I had in my mind too, but I couldn't think of.
Yeah.
Siege Rhino is 1 colorless, 1 white, 1 black, 1 green. Creature Rhino, 4/5 trample. When Siege Rhino enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. Bounce this guy.
That's sweet, man. It's only 4 mana.
Yeah, it's 3 different colors, but
Yeah, but
hell, hell, man.
pretty crazy drawing, man.
Dragon Lord Ujtai. 3 colorless, 1 white, 1 blue. I love a blue white. I love a good blue white, Alex. Legendary creature, Elder Dragon, 5/4 flying. Dragon Lord Ujtai has hexproof as long as it's untapped. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order.
Oh wow. So it's a 5/4 flying, sometimes hexproof that gives you card draw when he gets through. I
Yeah.
like it because it gives you, like you said, for blue and white, that gives you a nice like offensive, piece there in otherwise pretty defensive colors.
5 mana. I mean, this is as many mana as a Sarah Angel.
As anything else, yeah,
It's 1
anything
blue, 1
other
white,
big
but
flyer.
that's pretty cool. Thalia Heretic Cathar. 2 colorless, 1 white. Legendary creature, human soldier. Another card for the soldier deck. 3/2, first strike. Creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. It's a Kismet. And a first striking creature. Isn't Kismet also 2 colorless, 1 white to play?
I cannot remember that.
Might be. 2017, 2018, 2019 are Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh, Arclight Phoenix, and Emery, Lurker of the Loch. Nicol
Kubal's
Bolas.
Godfair is a cool card.
This is wild art. It looks literally like a gremlin with wings. It looks like Gremlin from Gremlins
Yeah, they give him a weird face. He's very,
with horns and wing.
he looks like an ATOG.
Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah. Four colorless, blue, black, red, legendary planeswalker. +2 loyalty, target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. Until end of turn, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. What? What? They just start flipping over cards, and then you could just play them without paying the mana cost? Is that what this is telling me? You just get to play a card
Yeah,
from their deck for free? I'll have to think
yeah.
about this, but I think it's what it's telling me.
After you exile
Yeah.
some, probably.
+1, each opponent exiles 2 cards from their hand. Jeez. -4, deals 7 damage to target opponent, creature an opponent controls, or planeswalker an opponent controls. -12, exile each non-land permanent your opponent controls.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a big hitter.
Arclight Phoenix, 3 colorless, 1 red, 3/2 flying haste Phoenix. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've cast 3 or more instant and sorcery spells this turn, return Arclight Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield.
That's cool. That's like what Firestorm Phoenix should have been like more, you know?
Yeah.
That was a card
This
that I
has,
got excited about back in the day and bought, and then I realized how bad it was.
I know, I've never really played it. I don't know
Just
if I've ever
costs too
played it at
much.
all. And this, I really like this art. Danny Pendergrass.
I like the art on the
Emery,
next one
Emery,
here.
Lurker of the Loch. Yeah, this is like a
This looks like if like Monet
Monet,
painted a
exactly.
bog hag.
Exactly. This is Monet's revisioning of Brine Hag. Brandy Milne. 2 colorless, 1 blue. Brandy Milne is the actual artist, not Monet. Legendary creature Merfolk, 1/2. This spell costs 1 colorless less to cast for each artifact you control.
Okay.
When Lurker of the Loch enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards. Does that mean you mill 4 cards?
Yeah.
Or, okay. Tap, choose target artifact in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. So
Interesting.
graveyard artifact synergy going on here. And then the last 3, 2020, 2020, 21. No, I said that wrong. 2021 and 2022. The cards are Shark Typhoon, Elite Spellbinder, and Nashi Moonsage's Scion. Now, I don't know what the hell's going on with Shark Typhoon. I don't know if this was like a shout out to Sharknado. I
Yeah, I
don't
feel like
even.
this was in a joke set or something.
Maybe it was from an unglued or something, an unset. 5 colorless, 1 blue presents Shark Typhoon, an enchantment. Cycling X, 1 colorless, 1 blue. Whenever you cycle Shark Typhoon, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying, where X is that spell's mana value.
The way
So
they
for
made the
your
text
shark
look like
deck,
a movie poster is like
yes,
it's
VHS format.
annoying.
It's
It's kind of
very
cool, but
wild.
it's like hard to read.
It's very hard to read. They're finally giving some power to the shark deck, which for however many years has only had what? Giant Shark from the
This, what,
Dark. Was
by
that
the
a
way, is
card?
from Ikoria, Lair of Behemoths.
Oh, that's the set.
Yeah, which I know that set had like a lot of like really big monster kind of things in it, I guess, like Lair of Behemoths, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it had something that was so goofy.
Maybe that's what caused Giant Shark from the Dark to immediately spike from 25 cents to 50 cents in 2021.
Oh my. Oh my.
People are like, yes, the shark decks.
You know, I'm looking at the cards in this Lair of the Behemoths, some of them, and it looks like it has a kind of cool feel to it. Like I don't know if it was considered to be like a strong set or whatever, but it looks fun because of like the nature of all the cards in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're really going with that of like giant stuff and spells that would affect giant things. And there's one here that looks like a giant cat. It's called Colossification. Looks like someone made
Maybe I'll have to look into
a
that
cat
because
giant.
the Timmy and me likes those big baddies. It's kind of I have to get more into Legions because that's kind of what Legions was too back in the old frame
Oh, really?
days. Just like big baddies.
Oh,
That's where Chroma, Angel of Wrath was printed, and yeah, there's just like a bunch of huge creatures. And
okay.
I
This
don't think
says
I'm wrong about that set. I could be screwing it up, but what are you looking at now? You're looking at
I'm just
something?
looking through these cards. It's neat.
Okay.
Like some of the cards that are like spells, you can see in the artwork they've made it like, like there's one here with this like girl who's like mentally bonding with some giant horsey creature. It's called Of One Mind, you know. This giant octopus, giant moth, some lands. Looks like there's some cool lands. There's a Godzilla in it.
Ooh, that sounds
There's a
exciting.
an enchantment called Titan's Nest. Yeah, it seems like the feel of the flavor of this set was kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at Legions right now. Achroma's in Legions. There's a bunch of slivers in Legions. There's a
Oh, okay.
black card called Phage the Untouchable, which is a 4/4 legendary creature, 3 colorless, 4 swamps. Whenever Phage the Untouchable comes into play and you didn't play it from your hand, you lose the game. Whenever it deals combat damage to a creature, destroy that creature that can't be regenerated. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game.
Well, she
uh
ain't messing
Scion of
around.
Scion of Darkness, which is a 5 colorless, 3 black, 6/6 creature avatar with trample. So yeah, there's a lot of big bads.
Okay.
There's a lot of big baddies in Legions.
Neat.
After Shark Typhoon, which is the weirdest card in the set, there's Elite Spellbinder. And the art for this has like an old, like, I
It's like
don't
old
know.
Marvel Comics.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the era. I don't
Look at
know
the
quite
Silver
the
Surfer.
eras. Like the 60s, the 50s. When was this art style?
Yeah, 60s, 70s.
60s, 70s is probably more accurate. Yeah, like the old Marvel style. Nick Cage, not Nicolas Cage. Luke Cage, Luke Fury. What am I thinking of, Alex?
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury. Is there a Luke Cage?
Yeah, for sure. I think
I
so.
took Nick Fury and Luke Cage are old Marvel characters, and I mixed up their names to make Nick Cage, who is an actor from Face Off
Hmm.
and other terrible movies. But yeah, the art, it has that old Marvel comic style. Elite Spellbinder, 2 colorless, 1 white, 3/1 human cleric flying. When Elite Spellbinder enters the battlefield, look at target opponent's hand. You may exile a non-land card from it. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may play it. A spell cast this way costs 2 more to cast. So you take cards from their hand and just like exile it, but also not exile it because they can
Yeah.
play it, but it just takes more mana to play, which is pretty cool. But I wonder why they use the exile. I think of exile as being like totally removed from the game.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that's weird about it. Like there's been some creep into that territory of like it used to just be something was removed from the game, and then they started making cards that affected things once they were removed from the game, or cards
That's
that
terrible.
like yeah, and by changing it from removed to the game to exile, I think they sort of like they make that more likely because it's now in a like
Yeah.
not completely removed from the game zone. It's like graveyard tier 2, the deeper
They should
graveyard.
call it limbo.
Yeah.
Or they should make a whole set called Graveyard Type 2, the deeper graveyard. The last card printed from 2022 that's now going to be in this secret layer is just the aesthetics of it are super cool. What it is super cool. I haven't read what it does yet. It is Nashi, Moon Sage's Scion. Nashi is a legendary rat ninja.
Yeah.
This is like a young cyberpunk Master Splinter.
Yeah. I was gonna say that it looks like it has a very like cyberpunky Mutant Ninja Turtles comic vibe to it.
The artist is Deathburger. That's probably
Oh
not
yeah.
his that's probably not his God-given name. You can play Nashi Moonsage's Scion for one colorless, two black. It is a 3/2. Now, this is where I'm going to get very confused. The card text says ninjutsu, three colorless, one black.
Yeah. Another mechanic we don't know.
What?
This got to be
Okay,
from one of
so
these Kamigawa sets.
just so the kids know, you can pay three colorless, one black, and then ninjutsu, whatever that
Okay, I'll
does.
tell you what it is. Hold on. Ninjutsu. Three colorless, one black. Return an unblocked attacker you control to your hand. Put this card onto your battlefield from your hand, tapped and attacking.
What? Read that again.
Yeah,
I
that's
attack
confusing.
with
I think I
somebody. It's
understand.
not blacked, and then I bring it to my hand when it's not blocked. I said not blacked.
Return an unblocked attacker you control to your hand. So I guess you have to attack, and if
So I
something is
tack.
unblocked,
Yeah.
yeah,
I tack, it's not blocked. And for some reason, I want to return it to my hand after that. I don't know why I would want to do that, but now finish the rest.
put this card onto the battlefield from your hand, tapped and attacking. So I guess when they say this card, they don't mean the
Holy
card
smokes.
you ninjutsu, they mean Nashi, right? No, maybe not.
I'm very confused and I'm not going to figure this out in real time on the pod. I'm not sure why I would want to attack, have something not blocked, then return it to my hand, then return it from my hand back to the battlefield tapped and attacking.
I think you're putting Nashi
Something
down,
different?
tapped and attacking. I think when he's in your hand, you play the ninjutsu cost
Oh,
and you swap him with one of your other attackers from your hand onto the battlefield. I think, but I might be wrong.
okay. That might be it because I'm going to read the rest of Nashi. Whenever Nashi Moonsage's Scion deals combat damage to a player, so this would be great. You attack with
Yeah,
something,
you
somebody's
sneak
like,
him in.
okay, I'm not going to block it. And then the fucking ninjutsu kicks him in the dick. Whenever Nashi deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of each player's library. Oh man, you got to remove a card from your library too. Until end of turn, you may play one of those cards
So not really exiled.
because you can play. Okay. Holy smokes, Alex. What are they doing with these new mechanics?
Yeah.
If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than paying its mana cost.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I can see how it would be useful swapping out some
sometimes. Yeah.
creatures. There's a bunch of rulings on it.
Geez Louise. Bunch of rulings and it just came out in 2022 and they're already like having to clarify stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Alex, that's the end of the 30th anniversary Magic the Gathering Secret Lair.
That was cool.
This is probably like the only new thing I've seen from Wizards since I started playing that I'm like, man, I think I want to buy this. Like, it's awesome. And it's not a terrible value. 140, 150 bucks for this. I don't, maybe I'm crazy, but I'm looking at this and
No,
there's
to
so
me,
much
it doesn't
cool
seem
stuff in
like
here.
that to me either. I mean, heck, even what's the cheapest Necropotence go for?
Ice Age is
30
30 to 50
bucks?
bucks. I
Yeah.
think it's 30 bucks. Yeah.
So you get 30 bucks right there and 75 from the Crow Mox, like you said.
And then other cards that, you can get cheap versions of, but cool ass art,
Yeah.
like
And
the
I'm buying it for the
factory, for
art.
instance.
I'm buying it for, if I buy this, I would be buying it for the art. The thing about Secret Lairs is I think when they're sealed, like you can't see the cards. So you'd have to open it. I think. I've
I
never bought one before.
uh I would open it anyways.
Yeah,
But
I think
it
so.
isn't the secret layer, what's in it, right? It's one of each of these. Am I right
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
Okay. I want the Elsbeth.
Yeah, the only reason to keep it sealed would be is if you're trying to like flip it eventually, to someone else who wants a sealed one.
Yeah, I don't flip things.
Yeah.
I'm not a flipper.
I like all these with without the border, with the extended art. They all look good. The artwork on most of these cards looks good. I'm happy with
Yeah,
all
I
of it.
mean,
It's
there's a lot of really great art.
nice display pieces. I think it's pretty cool. I think the price is, like you said, reasonable.
That's very reasonable.
Huh.
I'm hyping up Wizards right now.
Secret Lairs, how does that work? I think they're not tournament legal, right? Or they're not legal in standard, but I think you can play them in Commander, and I just read about this.
I have no clue.
I think you can play them in not standard setting, like Commander and maybe Legacy or something.
I mean, if somebody were to tell me I couldn't play my Secret Lair Misha's Factory,
Yeah, oh yeah, because it's a yeah,
we'd fight.
yeah.
I'd say we're taking this outside in a parking lot.
I love that Mistress Factory. That's so cool looking. Looks like a Final Fantasy town or like some kind of
Yeah. The
Animal
Necro's
Crossing-y
cool.
kind of thing.
Even the Shivan, it's not that the Shivan isn't cool. It's just the original Shivan is so iconic that I don't think
Yeah, yeah,
anybody could ever make art that would make me want that new version over just an old Shivan art.
yeah. But this is cool. I like the sky coloring on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like as a Shivan, but like the card looks largely blue
Yeah.
in the artwork, which is kind of neat contrast.
It's good head shop. I mean, somebody should put this on a bong and sell it.
Oh yeah, yeah. This would go good on a again blacklight poster, skateboard, bong. Huh, neat.
Okay,
I
Alex, we've been
hadn't
going
looked
for a while.
into this that much yet.
I just saw it last week. Yeah, and I was
There's
like, this is pretty
also, I
cool.
think it comes with there's some like extra cards in it too, like some like I don't know if they're random or how you get them, but there's a Felwar stone,
Oh,
which I think is a returning artist, Dan Frazier or someone.
that'd be cool because I want another Felwar stone.
We'll see. Hold on. It's foil too. It's a foil Felwar stone with new art.
Oh,
It looks kind of like poop rocks.
wow, I love poop rocks.
Yeah.
Wow. It's me after I've had too much fiber. I just typed in poop rocks and MTG stocks. I don't know why. I meant to type in.
You're very impressionable.
I meant to type in Felwar stone, and I just typed poop rocks. Nothing came up, Alex. Nothing showing up here yet.
Not even up there yet.
No.
I saw it. It was on the finance Reddit today.
Mm. I don't know. It's not this commander art, is it?
No, no, no. There's no hands
like
in it or anything. It's just a couple rocks like on the ground.
Okay.
In a circle.
Okay, that's all I have for the Secret Lair, Alex. A review of the Secret Lair. This is financial advice. Buy the 30th anniversary Secret Lair.
Hey, yeah, there you go. I might, Steve. I might. This is kind of neat.
I think I might too. Look at the kind of advertisers that are on the sites for like MTG stuff.
I know. I almost said something about that earlier to you. Like, that's ridiculous.
Weird, creepy hentai stuff. Come on, people. Is that the only advertiser MTG stocks can get? At least over here, there's a TCG player ad, you know? And then there's like a cartoon Asian lady, like
sticking her ass in your face.
Jeez Louise. Okay, Alex, let's wrap this episode up.
Okay.
I've had enough. Thanks everybody for listening. I think that was a successful episode 14 of the Old Man Magic podcast. Please follow us on YouTube at Old Man Magic. We've almost hit 20 subscribers. That's going to be a major milestone for us. We're at 19 at the time of this recording. Let's see if we can get to 20. Hopefully there's one more person out there that will go to Old Man Magic on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and so far that's it. Might be uploading to some other platforms at some point in the future. I think there's like also like a Google Play podcast. I think that might be separate. I'll have to figure that out. But anyways, thanks for listening. Do you have anything to add, Alex?
Oh no, I don't think so. Maybe pop in your local game shop, see what board games they have.
What
Might
was
be
the one
worth
you
your time.
liked? What was the one you liked?
The one I just played,
Yeah, not
it was
Cones of Dunshire.
Gloomhaven, not Cones of
Gloomhaven.
Dunshire, no. Gloomhaven.
Okay. Check out Gloomhaven. Okay. Talk to you next week.
Later.